take a look at Dina Wakley Media for Ranger ink, white gesso. So this is a little bit, it's more of what I think of like traditional, the gesso being kind of a thin paint. And I will show you a little bit here on craft cardstock, and it is in a little tube, which is nice. Doesn't take up a lot of space, also doesn't make a mess, doesn't require any tools to get it out because it has just the little squeeze that you can squeeze out directly onto your art journal pages, however you like. And what I like about it is a little thinner, but it's not so thin that it just is liquid gushing all over the place. It also, another thing I really like is it's really easy to spread. I like being able to spread things with my little palette knife, especially gesso over, say, a canvas, an art journal page, that kind of thing. It's very easy to spread. Take a little tiny bit and spread a nice thin layer. You can see that if I'm spreading this super, super thin, it can be so thin that you can actually see through it a bit. The other thing that I really like is if you hit it with a heat tool, it's almost instantly dry. You can almost instantly have a surface to work on, which is really great. This is my favored gesso for primering my art journal pages. Now right here, I have some that's already dry. Can we use it with a stencil? Yes, it's not my preferred type of medium for stenciling. I just put a little bit right on top of this stencil here because it is a little bit more loose. So of all the mediums I have available to me, it's generally not going to be my choice because, and this is where I applied it over here and it stayed pretty tight there. But you can see there's a couple of lines here where it did seep underneath my stencil, and I tried to use a fairly simple stencil as far as what might be successful for this. So can you? Yes. Is it going to be crisp and perfect? Probably not. That doesn't make it a bad product. It just means that if I'm stenciling, I'm probably going to use a gel medium, a texture paste, something other than this for my stenciling needs. So what does it look like when we spray color? I'm going to use the same peeled paint here, and I'm just going to put one mist there. I'll add another one just because I want to have a little more color here. Now, what does it do when we add color to it? Well, the one thing that I really like, and it's going to be, I'll show you kind of where the line is kind of here and kind of there, where the strip is that's completely coated in gesso. I like that it's so thin. If you're doing scrapbooking, if you're doing card making and you're wanting to use some of this as kind of a primer on your surface or in some other way, maybe to coat some things. What I really, really like here is that you are able to get such a thin coat that you're not going to have a huge problem with paper warping, with issues, anything like that. Now, once again, you'll see that while this side it was wet when I applied it, it's more of a pastel. It kind of soaked in. It does soak in pretty well for as far as these liquid mediums go. This takes the color pretty well, but it's still a lot less saturated than it would be dry. What I really love about this product is, if you'll recall, with another product, with the Prima product, it really soaks in the color, meaning that it just it gets so soaked in there that even if there were individual little droplets and dots, they can kind of expand out. And actually I have it on the other side of this paper so I can show you. So right here, I did the same thing, and you can see there's a little bit on the ends, but it really soaked in a lot more. Whereas here, it is remaining. The only place it really soaked in that kind of like completely saturated way is where I ran my fingers along down there. It is really keeping the integrity of all the little speckles and dots. Again, good thing, bad thing. It depends on what you want. What are you making? What are you doing? What would you like? Now this, well, that's interesting. Oh, I see what I did. So what does it take with watercolors, with other acrylic paints, with pens, with other mediums? Yeah, pretty much whatever I use on this, it works well. It's just a little, like I said before, depends on what you want to do exactly. If what you're looking for is a little thinner product, if you want it to show not the color to not soak in quite as much, especially with those types of liquid mediums like mists, then perhaps this is the way to go. If you're not going to be stenciling with it, if you're going to be doing other stuff with it, it also works well to coat over metals and buttons and things of that nature. Works well with all of the mediums that I have tested it with, and generally speaking, a really good product to have. Again, if these are the effects that you're looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment or shoot me an email. I'll see you next time.